When we last left this group, it's been a long time, but when we last left adventurers and mercenaries, used for hire, you had spent the next 3 weeks recovering, or not recovering, but relaxing, speaking to the many passengers on this ship, practicing your craft, learning some new trades and skills, and some of you even practicing your more brutish skills. That being said, all is peaceful until the next month. You have been informed that the ship that, after being brought in, after everyone in the ship, crew included, and passengers, there has been a murder on board, and that everyone is to stay in pairs, don't go alone, or stay in large groups, don't go alone. If you are to go alone, make sure you have multiple members of staff with you, and that in the next few hours they're going to be initiating a curfew. They're going to be initiating a curfew before fall. As a result of the murder, they do not reveal the name of the person, but they claim that it's being handled in-house, and that this tragedy has befallen everyone. Has befallen this fort. This should not cause. This does not mean that everyone else should in such a way that interrupt their already paid for cruise. As a result, each of you are left to your own devices unless you wish to be involved in an attempt to solve this.
Got nothing better to do.
Could I can speak to the dead.
Hello. Just basically said what I already said. Murder on the ship. Everyone's been already informed. Oh, right. There's been a curfew established. Don't go alone. The crew has asked. The captain of the ship has asked for everyone to not go alone, to go in large groups, and everyone should just though this has happened, just relax and enjoy the cruise that you have all paid for in full.
Yeah.
Can we go over the cruise again, or do we have any yet?
Nope. At the moment, you have two choices. Either you just go on your day, or you can participate in the investigation in some way, shape, or form. So first things first. A list of characters. Flutter, does Vera wish to attempt to join the investigation?
Yeah.
All right.
Even if she wasn't a paladin, she would probably still be the type to partake in murder mysteries.
Yeah, and you worked as a guard, so this is something somewhat up your alley.
Right.
All right. Price.
Yeah.
Would Price like to be involved in this? Yeah. Okay. That's fast. Dino, would Lucid like to participate?
As previously stated, nothing better to do.
Okay. Just making sure. Mastuk, would Hajime like to participate in this investigation, or?
I want her to, but I don't know if I actually have a legitimate reason to. She is good with investigation type of stuff.
All right, you want a reason? I'll give you a reason. How often do you get to help with a murder investigation?
See, that's what I'm thinking.
One at a time.
I mean, she kind of romanticizes these investigations like this.
All right, and Vera, something?
Or
Oh, okay. would Hajime like to be involved in the investigation?
Sure.
All right. Nas, would Datura like to participate in this?
They can try
investigation?
and stop her.
Okay. As you see many noblemen and just generally customers of the several people take their leave, sort of pairing up in groups. Each of you approach the cat and ask for permission to assist in the investigation. At the moment, let's see here. I take it each of you reveal the fact that you work for the Seven Nobles Guild, yes? In some capacity.
If
I mean, I
like,
believe
if they
you-
don't want to have an extreme smart intellectual that helps them, then I guess I can flaunt guild status.
It's mostly to keep people safe. They don't want to risk people unless they can take care of themselves.
I believe we have like a badge or something to prove we're affiliates.
Yeah, you have paperwork as proof of your affiliation, as well as your rank and the such. So
They're gonna look at people clad in plate and be concerned about their health. I don't know what to tell them.
magic,
like a hoodie.
Magic exists.
Not
Monsters
even-
exist. Demons.
Nice
You're able to. Just because you're able to procure plate armor doesn't necessarily. Might just mean that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're able to protect yourself or fight off enemies while in that armor.
Specific kind of argument. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, after showing you your paperwork, the captain, known to the crew as Captain Stonebeard, asks each of you to essentially join. He brings you to a separate room where each of you are. He does inform each of you that before entering that the investigator inside will be casting a circle of truth spell, just for you to not comply and not resist the effects of the spell.
Going separately or something?
So individually,
Why?
starting from it's like, where were you at such and such time? What is your such person? That sort of thing. So starting off, Nas, what is Datura's response to this? Are you willing to just accept being investigated with this crime?
So Datura is probably not upset with being investigated. It's more of a thing that she is so into the whole murder mystery of it all.
So you two are fetishizing it.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
I may have a -1 to investigation, but I sure do have a 13 to intimidation.
Nice.
Good cop, bad cop. Okay, I see how this is going. Wow. So
Good
starting
cop,
off,
crazy cop.
just the basic questions. They ask you if you have willingly performed any acts of violence against an individual or person or persons while on this ship.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Personally, no.
And you haven't. And that was a specific question. So, very particular question. So, yeah, they ask you about, if you're associated with such and such persons, or such and such person. In this case, a Margaret Hickman.
I've never heard that name before in my life.
Yeah.
And believe me, I have a great memory. I've never forgotten a thing in my life.
Yeah. They, scratch that off.
She believes it's true.
And they ask you, where were you in basically 2 days ago, 5 minutes after lunch?
I was not in my cabin, I'll admit, but I do have an alibi.
I take it you inform them of spending basically most of the cruise with Ronaldo.
Yeah, basically.
All right. They check in. They basically inform you that wait in this separate room, and we'll with the rest of the people here, and you'll be and we'll inform you when we're going to be when they will allow you into this investigation. Standard stuff. All right. Same questions for Hajime. Has she knowingly or willingly or unwillingly caused harm to any member or members or any member or any person or persons on this ship?
She will graciously accept the being prodded, if you will.
The zone of truth.
Yes, she won't resist anything. And on the ship, no. And that's kind of it. And for the alibi, I was in my room working on a new dress for the last. How long have I been working on that? Like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, basically. You've drawn up the entire design. You've done all your stuff. So yeah.
I ordered some pride silk from your service, and I have been working on a dress for the gala, the ball. And I have really not left my room in a couple of weeks, actually.
All right. And of course, do you know a Margaret Hick?
It doesn't ring a bell. Would I know a Margaret Hickman?
Because of your noble status, roll a history.
Oh, don't I get that advantage?
Yes, you do, because of your feat, if I remember correct.
Yeah, and hold on. Roll 20 is a little slow.
It's all right. I know that you. I believe you. So yeah. 24. You know of a Margaret Hickman. She is or at least the Hickman. At least you know of her. You don't know her personally. The Hickman family has been a sort of one of the founding members of Resh's sort of fur trade. Resh is mostly policed and protected by many voluntary and sometimes in the case of criminal, particularly heinous acts, unwilling undead. They have a blossoming fur trade going on due to the quite unique aspects of the land that they reside in. For the most part, the Hickman family has only been they have only been dealing in furs. They have recently been moving into the tobacco market, and have been doing quite well for themselves. You know that Margaret Hickman is the youngest daughter of the Hickman patriarch, Roger Hickman.
I don't know her in specific, but I know of them. Successful fur traders that branched off into tobacco dealings. Yeah, I know of them.
All right. They inform you to wait inside a separate room where you do see Datura sitting there, as well as a few other people.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, Dino,
Yes, that's me.
does Lucid permit them to cast permit them to cast Circle of Truth on you, and do you give them? And are you going to let them leave the effects take hold of you?
All right. Well, okay. First things first. Last I checked, Zone of Truth is a charisma save,
Mm-hmm.
which who exactly is casting this on me?
It appears to be one of the deckhands, one of the security detail,
We're
investigator or
probably
something.
not dealing with an expert here, but still. Regardless, I have a 8 in charisma, so for that reason, probably yes. But I do have a question. Regardless, whether or not I would be able to make the save. We are speaking of the spell Zone of Truth, yes?
Yes, the Zone of Truth. The spell.
Very specifically, Zone of Truth specifies that a creature can't deliberately speak a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Does my psionic capabilities count as speak?
It does, for the purposes of communication.
Very well. I will communicate. I will not resist.
All right. Same questions as have you willingly or unwillingly done harm on the ship?
That depends on what you call harm, but I would not bodily harm to other residents, no.
Okay. Basically, physical or psychic, or psychological harm.
If I did, it was consensual.
Okay. They will not ask you press you further on that because they respect because of you paid for your tickets here. All right. They ask you, have you? Let's see here. Do you know of a Margaret Hickman?
Unless I do, I don't.
The Hickman family doesn't have any sort of ties to anything that you would have heard of. So, yeah, you would not have heard of them.
Yeah.
They ask you, and finally they ask you where you have, where have you been? Can you account for your whereabouts? 3 days ago, or several days ago, at 5 minutes after lunch.
Well, considering the fact that I don't eat, lunch is a bit of a relative term, but more than likely
Midday,
out with my Scion mask, so he can back me up on that.
Yeah, the person, they check and confirm it, but in the meantime, you're to wait inside of a separate room to see if you are permitted into the investigation, where you do not see Hajime or Dottore. You just see about several other people. You see some noblemen and a few crew members, because they just need to confirm your story basically. Since it involves someone else. So, all right. Well, after a few minutes, you're brought into another Hajime and Dottore, as well as two other people that you don't recognize. Does Parias permit under the effects of Zone of Truth?
Yep.
Right. All right. So same questions as before. Have you knowingly or unknowingly caused physical or harm or mental harm against someone?
I worked as a bouncer for a short time. It didn't do any major harm. Maybe some breaks and bruises, but nothing past that.
All right. We're going to go confirm that. But next question is, does the name Margaret remind you of anything? Or do you know of any one of the...
No.
All right. And of course, the final question: where can you account for your whereabouts? 3 days ago, 5 minutes past lunch.
I don't remember what happened 3 days ago. Me. Out of character.
In character, let's see here. You were working primarily, training and
about-
such
Okay, we're training.
in the gym. The gymnasium, the combat quarters that they call
Okay,
it.
trying to remember.
I think it's like armor feat training.
The lit feed.
Oh, right, no, it was
It's
the.
Probably. I think I was wondering. Learning how to perform rituals at a greater scale than I already can.
All right. We'll have to confirm your private security detail, but aside from, they just send you to a separate room where they, basically confirm your story or not. Then, after a few minutes, you're brought into a room where you see Lucy, Huntsmen, and Datura. And finally, Vera.
Yes?
Flutter, does Vera allow them to be put under the effects of truth?
Lawful good says yes.
All right. Same question as before. They basically, or have you knowingly or unknowingly caused harm to anyone on this ship?
Out of character. Did I do that while I was working?
No. You've just primarily been researching and getting to know the people who are manning the crew or manning the ship, the private security and the such.
Okay. In that case, to best of my knowledge, no.
All right. Next question is: do you know does the main person known as Margaret Hickman? And for you, this would be a history check.
Well, I'm glad I got that straight.
All right. 15. You actually remember. Your captain.
I'm really glad I got that.
Yeah. Your captain, the previous captain of the Garden, Gavanay, he particularly enjoyed the tobacco from the Hickman shipping company. It was much more of a recent sort of acquisition of taste, but aside from that, you've never really, you don't know them. You know of them because the captain used to enjoy their products quite a bit, specifically tobacco.
Right.
I take it you relay this to them.
Naturally, ignore that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, of course, the final question: can you account for your your doings or your location 3 days ago, 5 minutes past lunch?
I was likely absorbed in studying. It's hard to tell exactly when I look at them as well, I know how I get when I get them.
All right. They ask you to wait in a separate room so that way they can confirm your story. After which you're moved to another room, where you see most of your ally. The only two people you don't recognize on this ship is you actually would recognize one of these people. You recognize one of the people here as one of the security detail on the ship. A dwarvish man with sort of a silvery gray beard, or silvery gray streaks on his hair and some of his beard. He has like bright orange head of hair, very well groomed beard. Which one person would just think he's just some nobleman who's just walking around, but in actuality uh, is a he is a contracted mercenary from the Black Iron Wolves private security division. He's relatively quiet, but from what you've heard, he's actually a surprisingly skilled tracker and fighter. Though
what's his name?
his name, one moment, let me pull up the sheet. I believe I have art for him. Oh gosh darn it. Sorry, Roll20 is giving me the red bar. So really, click on edit the character sheet too, so that way you guys can see the portrait. But his name is Urain Toran. I'll just write it here. There we go.
You're not to respectfully access. Okay.
All right. The only other person you don't recognize is it's actually a Yuan T. And actually, same with here. Basically, the only people that most of you guys don't recognize is a Yuan T and a dwarf. Dwarf appears to be in a breastplate. It has a maul resting on his shoulder. The Yuan T woman has has black hair and very reptilian, particularly pronounced reptilian features. Her skin is for the most part actually somewhat scaled. How do I explain this? Oh come on, stop giving me the red bar. Yeah, it's mostly scaled around her forehead and sort of down the bridge of her nose, and her actual skin is very noticeable light green. So, what are each of your characters' reactions to seeing each other on this ship, or in this room? Hello?
Are you looking for investigations too?
Oh. I guess so.
Oh, good. It'll go faster than more of us.
All right. Let's see here. And come on, stop giving me such a hard time, Roll20. Oh, I'll just continue. Character token or character image is visible 1 sec. But yeah, so each of you do hear the door open in basically waiting room as you see an elvish man wearing a sort of bowler cap and let's see here. Let me just give a description here. You see an elvish man with golden and blonde hair and very fair skin. His eyes are a noticeable, a very warm brown in contrast hair, as he appears to be wearing a set of appears to be wearing a simple black dress shirt and as well as a pair of is to be for the most part confident as he sort of twirls the bowler cap in his hands, in one hand, and you see sort of hanging a footlock and on his what looks like you see a rather large tome. It appears very weathered and heavily marked with use. And he says, "All right, there's volunteers. All right, all right. All right. It's good to see some people trying to step up and try to solve this tragedy, or at least prevent another one from happening. I'm not all. I'm the person. Before you ask, yes, I am an F on a dwarvish ship. The irony is not lost. Pay well.
Yo, how has he not been, like, lynched or something yet?
No, I'd imagine it's more of just hazing, just teasing.
Yeah, he seems particularly tired. You see, despite his fair and quite to some people handsome features, you do see like noticeable signs of stress, like some very light baggies.
He and I
Looks
are
like you see like his one collar sort of sticking out, while the other one sort of folded inwards.
Do I still have any of that, like, caffeinated, like, energy brute or whatever it was?
Yeah, the roots. Yeah, do you offer that to him?
Yeah, I offer so.
Thanks. No, I'm good. I had 8 of those this morning for lunch or for breakfast. Breakfast, lunch.
Eight?
Isn't different. All right. So.
Oh, maybe that's why you're so tired now after the energy crash. Why did you so responsibly?
I had it. Particularly easy here. Anyways, see if I got everyone here's names right. Datura Belrose.
Present.
All right, thank you for the enthusiasm. Hajime Oka of House Takona.
She raises her hand. Yeah.
All right. Parai, Lucid.
Actually, it's but that works.
Oh, right, sorry. I'm very good with short mind frequency names. All right. Parais.
It just clanks a bit.
All right. 5% accounted for, and of course.
Out there a bit.
Yeah, he sort of says, "All right, person accounted. You must be Vera, ma'am."
Your church mouse, yes.
All right, that was not mentioned. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, Oring, you decided to join this. He says as his eyes narrow and just see the most like I'm so tired of this sort of look on his face. Just kick it.
Wait, who is he talking about?
Orim, the dwarf you know of, you've met. Yeah, he just sort of juts his head up. Nice to see that you're not fallen dead yet. Be a shame, especially in this investigation, to lose some time like ye. I don't need your patronizing. And
You will remember that.
the elf man sort of closes his eyes. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but is your name Hippolyte E. Kirk? The lady simply says, "Yes." Hippolyte Kirk. All right. So I'm going to need all of you to follow to me making our way to the ground. Just don't touch anything. Don't. And I've already been aware of the guild that each of you belong to and your work. Hippolyte raises her chin and sort of smiles in a sort of with a sense of like smugness to it. All right.
Quick question before we continue. Not for them, for you, Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Whenabouts is this taking place during the 3 weeks, or is it taking place after?
After.
Okay. I just wanted to make clear, therefore I knew what access I had to feats I trained. Because
You have access to the ones you succeeded on, don't worry.
You mean the 4 out of 3 that I succeeded on?
Yes.
Alright, that's all, thank you.
Alright. So, as each of you follow suit down the cruise, into the cruise ship, you all see that the area is far more deserted than it should. There's very few people walking around, and those that are like in groups of like 5 to 8. Each of you sort of see that there's always like at least 3 security guards on. Fira, you know that they have a lot more security detail in case of, well, any possible that may the ship. So there's a number of specialists and reserved mercenaries in case of such events.
You're really cutting that. You're really cutting it out. I really get close to that.
Yeah,
1 moment.
You've been cutting out like last time around.
All right, give me a moment. I'll see if I can fix that. Right. Hello?
Hello.
Am I coming in clear right now?
Yes.
So far, but we gotta go for sustained to see
Say
if
it, Tongue Twister.
All right. Well,
Oh, God.
Say Siri the sorceress sells seashells by the seashore for 60 cents.
no. Anyways, let's see here. Right. So each of you are brought over down. So yeah, you see more security detail walking around. Vera would know that they hired more security in case of large beasts, ocean creatures that may, or large numbers of ocean-based peoples that may attempt to raid or assault the ship, or just pirate ships. But it's a former It's a former dwarven ironclad warship class ironclad. So it's unlikely, but still prepare for the hope for the best, prepare for the worst. As each of you are brought over, as each of you make your way down the halls, you eventually stop at a door, at a cabin door. There appears to be silver string around like each corner of the door, as the turns to each of you and says, "All right, look, I take it from some of your experience, some of you don't have, weak stomachs, but just a fair warning in case some of you start to, it's messy." As he pulls out a knife, as he pulls out a dagger and sort of cuts off each of the silver strings and takes point.
So, quick question. I have the hat of this guy. Can I use that to give myself a Sherlock hat and coat?
Fine.
Command word. I'm gonna change my armor to look like my armor and my cloak to look like a similar suit to Watson's. And hat.
You know,
Fine.
pretty sure Watson's the dumb one, so it makes.
Yeah. We're good cop, bad cop.
Watson, no. Hang on. No. Watson was not dumb. He was actually very intelligent. He was
just
kind of
made
dumb.
dumb.
His right-hand man for a reason.
That he is dumber
Yeah.
is the.
He's dumber than Sherlock and BBC Sherlock.
He was short-sighted more than anything. He really didn't see the big picture that Sherlock did. This kid is not safe.
Moving on,
Yes,
before we end
Yes,
up...
but he had practical smarts.
Moving on, before we end up getting
Listen.
distracted...
No, listen. Sherlock was one who would look at like a digital keypad and say, like, okay, so by the pattern of the where are the numbers, it's likely a combination of these numbers. And Watson would be the one who would be like, the light's green, the doors are locked.
Yeah, well, moving on, because we want to continue to, so that way you guys can actually see the murder scene.
Also, I'm going to call my hand to the Baskervilles.
Okay, yeah, well, moving on. So, the people who I need, let's see here. I need Datura, Hajime, and only Datura and Hajime to make Constitution saving throws as you walk in.
Ha! Imagine being able to probably smell it.
Jesus God. The only reason for Vera not needing to is because
Oh wait!
Gar.
I make charisma saves for Constitution throws.
Yes.
Hell, as you make charisma saves for just about everything.
Still higher.
Okay.
One.
We could just take the 5 and say it was a 40.
No.
Well,
No.
Anyways.
I one.
Yeah, Master Duke, Constitution save for Hajime.
God damn it. And Datura was the one who was going to be able to talk to the bastard.
Now she's in the corner throwing up.
Well,
I need. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll need her to do something else after after you roll for your Constitution. Master.
Yes. A con save will be rolled. I just have to load up my character.
will be rolled eventually.
A roll will be made.
We'll roll.
Okay. Finally, roll 20. Decide not to red bar me. And here we go. This is Oran.
big fucking beard. I like him.
Yeah, and nicely well taken care of beard. It's not just a normal beard, it's very well taken care of.
I said.
Stop. Anyways, okay, 16. You're fine. Okay, so first person to see this, Hajime, you sort of, as you see the crime scene, admittedly, you've seen and done worse. Datura, as you walk in, you see a body splayed out, ribcage torn wide open, viscera and organs spread
Can I ask
everywhere.
soft question? Does it have a mouth?
I'm getting to that. You see that this appears to be a human woman, mostly nude, except for like the bits of clothing, or not clothing, but cloth that has been placed over her more, private areas for her own dignity. And you see that her arms are, her hands are bound to each corner of the bed, though not her legs. Her eyes are wide open, as well as her mouth, in a sort of horrified expression. And that's not the thing that disgusts you the most. You also notice heavy amounts of fungus growing out of the inside of her chest cavity.
Yeah.
Where her heart should be, there's like a red cap. And it's just not pretty. And the smell, oh god, the smell. I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Those are normal. Wisdom's normal for me.
Yep, 16. You managed to mentally steel yourself, but it's still really gross. You almost find yourself puking, but you managed to hold it in through sheer willpower.
I know this is a horrible question, but does she look like she was sexually violated?
Look, I'm about to get to those details. I was just describing what you. Just keep in mind, cloth over her parts to make sure that she has some dignity. And aside from that, each of you see that the room is actually, aside from her bed, which is almost completely soaked in blood and fungus, it is actually completely, for the most part, untouched. The tables and chairs are where they are. The bedside table has hardly been touched at all, if it has been touched, and the makeup table it's pristine with some. Obviously, there has been some usage, obviously, but no sign of like a struggle whatsoever.
Right.
Yep.
And
Messy.
she does have a mouth, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I can only speak with dead if it has a mouth.
That's such an odd requirement.
So the elf sort of just turns to you and says, "All right, look, if anyone wants to turn back, it's fine. I'm fine. If I don't blame you, this is a particularly grisly scene. Wouldn't blame you. So, anyone else?"
I have a couple of questions about all this.
All right. Just first things first. I'll answer your question real quick. Just anyone else feel like they need to step out for a moment? The dwarf just stands there. Yeah. The snake lady just sort of. Yes.
Can anyone make like a what? Can anyone like identify this individual's race?
Sorry. What was the?
Can anyone identify this individual's race? Like, should they have a
Human.
red cap with their hearts?
No. Well, she's very clearly human, and as far as you know, humans don't really have red caps where their hearts should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But that aside,
Hold on, the tourist
no one,
right?
The tour is like reeling back at this and sort of holding her breath.
But is she human?
She's a
Oh,
no.
she's not biologically human. She's descended from humans, but not human herself. So first
I
things
think
first.
that's close enough. Datura, do you have mushrooms in your chest?
I'm not human.
Close enough.
Okay, look. All right, seeing as that no one is turning away, glad to have you on board. All right.
I'm
alright,
rolling an investigation on this body.
Yeah, but and
I'm
let
gonna.
me just get the details out of the way. What he's found. The body was found a few days ago, 3 days ago precisely. Able to determine the time of death to be at 5 minutes past lunch. That's why I asked you all those questions. The victim is a Margaret Hickman. She's one of the most wealthy fur and tobacco. Actually, the only wealthy fur and tobacco noble woman who has the daughter of the family, who entered the ship completely unharmed, and after some complaints over odor coming from this room, I was sent over to see what happened. Unfortunately, she was dead. The room has been, for the most part, untouched, except for her personal regions. I want to give her at least some respect, even if it's too late.
Did
Respect's
he
all
say
well and
that?
good, but we need to see everything.
Hmm.
I want
I
to get the full picture.
need to talk to the
Furthermore, did you
victim.
say that the... Furthermore, did
One
you
at a
say
time,
that
before any
the,
questions are said. I'm not quite done yet. Know that you're all excited for this, but one thing at a time. It looks like something violent. I checked to see if there's any traces of magic. Actually, there's no traces of magic whatsoever.
Telling me these mushrooms are non-magical?
Yep, that's what he's saying. As he
That's
continues,
odd.
no signs of any particularly. There's no sign of rape, fortunately. But, obviously this isn't exactly a normal occurrence. We aren't expecting people to just up and die with a burst open chest and mushrooms protruding outwards. That being said,
Okay, so...
this place is currently under lock and key, or proverbial lock and key, and no other member of the public or certain parts of the crew are allowed here into this room.
Hajime does have a quick question.
One at a time,
Did
one
you say
moment.
that the...
Hmm?
Did you say
Sorry,
that the, Did you say that the body was found at five past lunch, or that it was murdered at 5 past lunch?
Time of death was 5 past lunch.
How did you determine this?
Let's see here. I used a clue. I used clue. If you want, you can roll an Arcana.
Oh, the spell?
Yes,
clue?
the spell.
Okay.
Yeah, the spell clue. So, still, for anyone else who wants to know if the clue spell, an Arcana check to see if you have heard of it.
I feel like Lucid gets the gist.
Yeah. It's a sort of. Hold on a sec. He pulls out the spell book and sort of flips through several pages. Yeah, you don't know, Parias, what the clue spell is, but he flips through the pages.
Very cool.
Alright, let's see. He sort of quickly utters the incantation very quickly as you see footsteps begin to appear. On the ground, it looks like high heel footprints. Victim walked in here 5 days ago. Victim walked into here and started walking and made her way to the to the to apply some makeup, assumedly, or write something. I don't know. As you see the high heel footprints slowly walk over to the table. She was standing. She was there for a few seconds, no more than a few seconds before someone entered the room. As he points to the front entrance once more, as you see shoes, or not shoes, actually full-on square blocks, just rectangular blocks. Sorry, rectangular blocks where there should be footprints walking in. It looked like they were trying to probably cover the tracks, maybe wearing some weird rectangular shoes.
Either that
and
or very odd fashion sense.
Either or, wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, can I roll something to tell if it would be some sort of fashion?
History, yeah. But anyways, I'll tell you afterwards. Anyways, the footprints move closer as the woman's footprint, the culprit, the victim's footprints shift into a position where you assume that they were standing. Looked like they knew each other though, because next thing you know, he sort of lets the footprints. He stays quiet as the footprints of the woman the victim switch to that of actual footprints. As they get particularly close together for a few minutes before the footprints of the victim land where the body is currently located. As you see the feet splayed outwards, wide on each corner of the bed. They appear to have some interesting activities, if I say, before things went awry. As the spell continues for a few minutes, as the footprints for both of them, just for the victim, start to become a lot more erratic and violent before they finally settle onto where they are now. Which is like the setting it on the bed post. The culprit took his time to leave, and next thing you know, and after that, nothing. As the blocky footprints make their way out, they sort of stop at the makeup table, and they walk out. That's about as much as I could. That's about as much as I could get.
I'm gonna investigate the areas where the footprints stopped.
All right, I'll just use your previous one, but one at a time. Yes, Dottore, you were saying?
Yeah, after Vera does that, I'd like to speak with the victim.
Yes, how are you? Right, file. You can do that, right? Go ahead. Go ahead and do what you want.
Before she
Just don't taint it too much. Yeah, you're saying?
Yeah, before she does that, she does want to ask, is there any sign of forced entry?
Nope. Walk is completely untouched. No sign of any picks or anything like that. Looks like the culprit had a copy of the key, which is why we are also suspicious of possible crewmate of staff and crew.
What? Or perhaps the victim knew her killer.
Exactly. That's what I just said. It looks like they were getting particularly busy on the, as you probably saw on the bed. Honestly, this is just...
Well, in my mind, two up. Either the assailant had planned for this outcome through some means, or the assailant through some means caused this seemingly accident. The second option is unlikely, but possible. However, due to the nature of the parent flora being non-magical, the second option seems especially unlikely.
Yeah. Also, the culprit stayed here for about let's see if I about 5 minutes before they just decided to leave. So they weren't in any rush, and they clearly knew what they were doing. If they're delusional, wouldn't be surprised either way. But I don't know. Just God.
Are we aware of the various places she visited 4 days ago?
Yeah, everywhere actually, literally. Every single day she'd go out socializing with some of the crew. She was the youngest daughter, and she has a reputation of being very social.
That makes things troubling.
So there's a large pool of possible culprits. God, I thought this would be easy. And anyways, as he's saying this, Datura, as you cast the spell, nothing happens.
Was she not dead?
She is dead, very clearly, but roll a.
Did you forget Speak with Dead is a spell that exists?
Yeah, she's performing Speak with Dead. She casts Speak with Dead on the body, but there's nothing.
No, that was what I was gonna do.
Oh, you're not there at the moment. I'm about to introduce.
I know.
You.
Well, I know now.
Yeah. Well, moving on. So, Nas, as you cast Speak with Dead, you notice that it has no effect at all. The spell is not taking hold. Roll a general. Roll a whiz. No, yeah. Just roll a general intelligence. 4. I'll actually be with advantage because you're familiar with the spell. So, yeah, you know that. Let's see here. It has to be. Let's see here. It's not that the body has to be willing. It has to be that there has to be any semblance of a soul left inside, or any mark of a soul.
Okay, so you just straight up
I
changed
back
how
up
the spell
really
works.
quickly, very quickly, just to the opposite side of the room.
All right.
That, she's empty. Completely fucking empty.
So that's a something bonded?
Empty. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? I mean, she sort of points to the. She's not really empty at the moment.
Yes,
That thing
please
doesn't even
explain
have the
this.
semblance of a soul. It's like it was never alive to begin with.
Oh, fuck. That makes things a lot more complicated.
Something
Hang on, is it?
horrid happened
Hang
here.
on, isn't it possible that her soul is? Isn't it possible that her soul has simply moved on?
That's not how it works.
I'd say, if you want, Datura, you can roll a religion with advantage, and everyone else can roll religion to see if, that might be the case.
What about
Where's
our...
religion? Fuck!
Alright. Alright. Price, maybe. Let's see here. Datura, you kind of begrudgingly, you don't know for sure. I mean, you know how life and death works. It's just that it just seems too weird, and you're not there at the moment. However, Vera and both of you know that when a person dies and the body is, basically left over, there's always a trace of a soul. There's always something. It's kind of like a fingerprint. Whenever you touch something, unless someone like actively wipes away your fingerprints, or if you don't have a soul, like in the case of certain witches, there's always something that left over. There's never nothing, and let's see here, actually, Lucid, you know that the only way to get rid of a soul is to actually steal it in the act of while they're dying or when they die. And such a thing is heavily restricted and extremely taboo in most countries, Resh being an exception.
Huh.
Is there any way we can determine whether she ever had a soul or if she was completely soulless before murder?
She wasn't registered as a mage. She didn't have any pre-existing conditions.
There's been evidence.
Unfortunately, it seems most likely that we are dealing with a soul thief.
So, what I'm curious about is someone stole this person's soul without the use of magic. There was either they were capable of erasing all traces of magic, or we're dealing with someone with an innate power to steal someone's soul.
Most likely non-magical. Fuck.
Not only to steal one's soul, to do so without the means of traditional magic. I mean, I have non-magical, yet supernatural abilities myself, but this is truly unique.
Sorry. What am I saying? No, that's her. What am I? Didn't put in her name. Sorry.
What does that sound?
It's the sound of me counting my pills to make sure I have enough hormones until the end of the month, and I don't.
God damn it, Deterra. Stop doing fucking drugs mid-session.
Yeah, I'm probably going to dissociate real quick because
All right. Okay, take the time you need.
I can't find my estriadol.
All right. Well. All right. Take your time you need. If you need to step away from the computer.
Yeah, I will see you in a little bit. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right.
Here's a question. Can a weapon be enchanted to take someone's soul in the act of?
Yes, that does exist.
And would that?
But wouldn't that count as a traditional form of magic, seeing as enchantment is one of those?
Okay. Lunch Fluent's not here yet, so.
And that was my.
I mean, that's just me talking and chattering shit. Oh, sick.
This was out of game. So the question is, would that leave a magical trace, or a better question?
Would. There would be a trace.
Better yet, is it possible? Is it possible to remove magical traces?
All right. All right. All right. Any other questions? Starting from.
Yes.
All right.
Are we sure that she had a soul before the murder?
She would have been registered. The noble house has been more than forthright with their paperwork regarding any special condition. The only thing she had was an allergy to. What was it? He pulls out a notebook from one of his from inside his vest. What was it? All right, she was magically numb, and she had an allergy to bee stings.
Magically numb. That sounds relevant.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do, and I'm going to go up to the body, and I want to identify the red cat with my druidic magic.
Oh, what were the results of my investigation?
About to get to that. So anyone else have any questions?
How here?
How what?
No one here to struggle. Because surely there
is no sign of a struggle.
So
the period report taken an act
of,
There also
basically
don't
copulation.
be any wounds, yes?
Aside from the obvious.
Aside from the obvious, yes.
So,
No
here's-
traditional
here's-
wounds.
A question out of game. How close is her room to the cafeteria, to the lunchroom?
It's particularly far away. It's like the
So-
other end of the ship.
So here's the thing: if they were there, they weren't at the lunch during that time. Now this is a big ship, but that's something to remember. They could not have been at, unless they had the ability to be in multiple places at the same time.
Quick thing, this is Hippolyte Kirk. Sorry.
They could. So we're looking for possible male, someone she was fond with, someone she knew, enough to no sexual struggle, no struggle at all. Someone she knew, someone probably attractive, which we're gonna have
Or
to
someone
do.
she would find attractive, but yeah.
Someone she would find attractive.
I
Someone
would
that
suggest perhaps the influence of the mind in order to make there not be a struggle, but that would likely involve magic. So,
Or, you know of ways to go around that, though.
What does that mean? Does magical numb mean? Does that mean that she's not
Magically
affected by
numb
magic,
that-
or that
She cannot. Normally, when somebody touches, like, say, a magic item, like a magically enchanted longsword or a spell
They
scroll,
can-
you
they
can
can
feel
feel that.
like a sort of residual, sort of how do you say, sort of power almost. Yeah.
It's like a burning, almost like a power sensation, like it
More
vibrates
akin
by-
to like a warm sense. Almost like it varies from person to
Radiation, but
person
less
and item to
mutations.
item.
oh god,
Yeah, think of it more like radiation or like warmth from something.
something like that. They know.
It has
You-
nothing. She just can't tell if something's magical or not from non-obvious means.
Like my character in the Friday game, is also magically numb.
Anyways, so yeah, so it doesn't mean that she has like any resistances or immunity to spells or magic in general. It just means that she cannot tell when she touches something if something is magical.
That
She
could-
cannot physically tell the difference. Almost akin to being deaf or mute or no, not necessarily like that. No, that's an inaccurate statement. It's more akin to that of like
colorblind?
kind of like colorblind, or like if you're forgetting the condition. It's where you have no sense of touch, or nerve endings don't activate at all, like as a reaction to pain.
I
Or
know
you just
that.
can't feel anything. I keep forgetting the term.
Here's a question. This is going to sound incredibly disturbing, but what if she was into some really freaky shit like knife play, but because she was magically numb?
Did you call me out like that, you bitch?
Wow. Okay, moving on. So, questions
What-
aside, one moment. I just need to get the investigation stuff out of the way because you can come up with your theories shortly. But with your
Simple. I think we
sort
had
of
too little
look around.
information, and we should scavenge around for more.
Yeah, with the investigation check, then over the course of the next few minutes, each of you ask the lead investigator questions and look around. Hippolyte Kirk finds that the lipstick that was used, she appears to be very low on lipstick, but Vera, you sort of notice that something a bit odd. The lady does not have lipstick on her lips at all. The victim formerly Miss Hickman, does not have any sign of lipstick on her person.
And you said that there was lipstick on the table.
On the what?
there's lipstick on the table?
There is no sign of lipstick on the table. But with a 21, you sort of look at it, and okay, something a bit weird, but but not for all people here. But when somebody uses lipstick, you know how sometimes it bends and sort of shapes to the shape of somebody's lip or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is no sign. Looking at the shape of her lips and the shape that is embedded in the lipstick, they appear to come from different people. Appears to come from a different person entirely.
So that could
Do we have
explain
like
what
a
the
bag?
other.
Do we have a bag like we can put this in? Safe from.
He sort of looks around. Oh, right. He pulls out a small pouch a small black pouch with a silver string. Just put this in here and it'll keep it safe. And stays this sort
I
of.
put it in there. Do we have anyone that we can that can analyze that who it might belong?
Sorry?
Do we have anyone who can analyze that speak to it might?
You're looking at one of them, or you were looking at one of them, as he points to Hippolyte. Sort of just stands there, sort of smoke.
Come on, do your job then.
Very well. Just get very well. Very well. I will see what this object holds.
Do I roll nature for the red cap?
Yeah, sure.
Advantage?
Yes. And anyone else who wants to roll investigation, please feel free to do so.
I rolled a 12. And I finally managed to get to roll. I rolled a history to see if it's kind of lame, but to see if the square shoes would have been some sort of fashion item. Or
All
if it would just.
I have a question to ask.
One moment. So let's see here. The history check. Regarding the shoe, no. I mean, you know that sometimes they're used in particular measure. Actually, there's no fashion whatsoever aside from hobo tier or homeless tier basically vagrants that would wear square-shaped shoes. And if they were, they were probably like in small wooden boxes and stuff like that. At the very least. And last time you checked, hobo chic is it's not in season. Hobo chic is not in season.
It's never in season.
Yeah, of course it isn't. All right, and Datura, you sort of look around. Yeah, she died very. She died very disturbingly, kind of. But Lucid, you can tell that with your 25, you're able to discern that the body, the fungus that sort of is where her organs would be. This came up post-mortem, which means after she died. You notice this because there's less blood than there should be on the bed itself, and the way it looks, the way looking at it, it just doesn't exactly make sense. If this were the mushrooms were the cause of this, if the fungus was the cause of this, then the chest should be it would be a lot more messy. There'd be blood everywhere, theoretically. It'd be on the ceiling, on the walls, all over, just everywhere.
So, mushrooms being post-mortem means a couple is here.
Yeah.
one, that was not the cause of death. So we need to find that out, because as far as we can tell, there aren't any other clear signs of, say, stabbing, for instance.
Yeah. So, I'm specifically investigating the mushroom. How long would it have taken for it to grow there? And is there any sign that's from a specific place? Stuff like that.
All right. Well,
I assume that this is to get some kind of marker of time for when the death might have occurred or post-death.
Yeah.
If it was found within 2-3 days, that mushrooms do not grow that fast. It takes weeks for mushrooms to fully sprout.
With your nature check, you're able to discern that, and with also almost forgot. With your nature check, you are also able to discern that this is not any particularly violent or uncommon sort of fungus. This appears to be just some sort of edible mushroom. The red cap, the actual red cap there, isn't a red cap. It's a specifically bred sort of and cross-made sort of hybrid mushroom that's supposed to sort of mimic both the sort of visually pleasing aesthetics of a red cap, but it's particularly spicy.
Looks like we're eating good tonight.
She actually points that out to the lead investigator. That mushroom is not a red cap. This was specifically made to be edible. This is a man-made mushroom. It's actually really spicy.
That's... What? People do that?
I'm a druid.
It's a very strange world, yes.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, the whole eating thing in general really is kind of odd, but...
Hey,
this mushroom was specifically
doctor, right?
Well, yeah, you know that Flint is sort of mostly self-trained, but he's quite skilled in medicine. But anyways, before I...
Is Flint here, or...?
He's about to. I'm just about to bring him in.
I was going to ask, what the fuck is he doing?
I'm getting to that. As
Yay!
As Hippolyte. Hey, look, it's fine. Look, as Hippolyte sort of pulls out a symbol and utters something under her breath, as her eyes sort of glow a golden light as she touches the table. As she touches the table, she sort of takes a deep breath as she. Hold on a moment. Come on, stop. Sorry, I'm pulling up her sheet to essentially explain what the ability she's performing. As I should mostly to refamiliarize myself with it. She sort of starts speaking to this table. What did you see? What did you see? No. Okay.
Is there?
How long has it been since... Oh. Very well. Thank you. As her eyes return to normal, she exhales. Oh, this is particularly interesting.
Oh.
Hmm?
There's
Yes?
one thing I'd like to check. I would like to ask for you, my wolf companion, if he can smell traces of people here that are not any of us. Okay.
You know,
Is there any?
I'm.
Is there
Actually, also that was raises a good question. Is there any plant or plant material like plants? Is there any plants that are around here?
No, there's no other plant aside from like a flower vase. But it's not. But it's been like cut from its stem. Also, quick thing:
The better question to ask is
Parias.
who the fuck is plant related?
Yeah, Parias. As you sort of look around, you notice that this there's only aside from the obvious, there's only one way in or out. You also notice that the closet is particularly larger than like your closet.
Well,
Wait.
let's say the obvious thing. Is the closet open?
It'll be open at this point, but yeah. Anyways, so as each of you are sort of looking in, you'll hear a knock on the door.
I mean, I guess we all turn to it simultaneously in a goofy fashion, actually.
Who could it be?
Dun dun dun.
Also, don't mind me. I'm giving you like 20% of my attention. There's a thing.
It's all right. The investigator sort of puts his finger on his lips as he unholsters his flintlock, puts it behind his back, opens the door. Oh, I see you're here too. As you all somewhat hear, as you all hear a somewhat familiar voice say, "Yes, it is my family's duty to assist you in the protection of this scene." As you all recognize the
A family representative. I'm.
as you all hear a familiar voice that you heard only when you before you actually entered the ship. The noble woman who Flint attacked. One of the largest noble houses in Erether. The woman with the whips and the blade and the fancy armor, the really weird attire. Come on, why are you not? Okay, there we go. Oh, come on, now you're just... sorry, my notes are just... It's been a while, forgive me, it's just...
Ignore that first roll.
Okay. Using your once per session reroll for that?
No, you get advantage when it comes to, well...
Perception checks involving
smell.
Okay, that's fine.
I know this dude bro already said there is no traces of magic, but I still want to cast Detect Magic.
Well, while you're investigating, we can say that you do that. It's fine. And as you do see that, aside from the residual magic, no other noticeable traces of magic on the body at all.
She just wanted to see it for herself.
Okay.
To the closet.
The closet is actually filled with clothes.
Yep. But
Of course, dresses, shoes. You do see some sort of see some some lighter armor, though it looks purely decorative. Just purely decorative.
Was there any sources of magic in the closet?
Nope. Actually, no. The dresses are magical, but they're a combination of transmutation and illusion.
Okay, so either clothes
Some of them
of
are
men, clothes of men,
transmutation and illusion. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
So nothing of the unusual.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the lady, but yeah, the Dampier lady, noble woman.
So she's
Oh wait, no,
the
I remember. Now I remember. No, I vaguely remember. Shit. Titania, Magda Chestimore.
Magnitude. So she's the representative of the family.
She's the noble house she representative of the family that you know of. She has explained in detail, but he just says, "Fine, come on. Why is the musician enter? Why are you bringing the musician in here? As you all see, Flynn."
Oh, actually, I can say that he's a doctor, a trained doctor. He's a medical expert.
Yeah. And Lamb Chopper, are you there?
Yes.
Alright.
I would like you to
Yeah.
describe the scene around me, though. Well, not around me, but around
Mostly-
Flint.
Yeah. Mostly,
Just
you see,
real
Magda Chestibor has basically, brought you along sort of as a assistant / ride along for this to assist in assisting on this murders, protecting this murder scene, or possibly helping out in the investigation.
Mhm. The woman is handcuffed to the bed by her hands. Her chest is split open in two. Her heart has been removed and has been replaced with a mushroom.
I'll just describe it. Again, everything that he just said except for the chest thing. It is splayed open. However, it's not that everything has been removed. It just looks like a fungus has grown over it.
Actually,
With a large, almost red cap looking mushroom where the heart is. There also appears to be very little signs of any other mess.
Is the mushroom an aberration or a fey or something?
I would have been able to tell.
The mushroom itself is not magical. There's traces, but that's on that.
Yeah. So from what I was able to tell, this mushroom isn't actually a red cap. It's a spliced modified mushroom that's edible. That would have been. You would have had to know firstly how to breed mushrooms, and how to get this mushroom in the first place. This isn't something you'd see every day. This is a farmed mushroom. It's edible. It's spicy. I could pluck it right now and just take a bite out of it and be completely safe. Which is my question about that. Are these sinews, the roots of the mushroom, how deep do they bore into the chest? Auntie?
Oh yes, they appear to be piercing through the heart.
So the heart wasn't replaced by it.
Nope, it's just where it's the sort of region where the heart, above where the heart is.
It was placed there.
Maybe, you're not certain.
Huh.
I think what that might have been is
I've been waiting half an hour.
Sorry?
Mystery
Flutter, you were
takes
saying?
time to solve.
Yeah. Flutter, you were saying?
I was just asking if you could tell, could sniff out traces of this person's killer.
Aside from everything else, all of you, the victim, the new people, he knows a very, very odd scent of cured leather. A lot of cured leather.
What about from the mysterious lipstick?
Cured leather.
Cured leather, nothing organic, just the cured leather?
Cured
Wait.
leather. That's and I take it you inform the rest of the party with it.
Yes.
She's their family is leather trader.
No, fur trade, fur and
trade,
tobacco.
but leather is part of it. You don't just sell the pelt; you sell the leather and the pelt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just sell the pelt. You're not interested in hiring laborers to make leather, as it is a long and intensive process. But
Also, Hippolyte will mention. On the mention of smelling a bunch of leather, the table said something quite interesting. I think you'll all find strange. They saw the person walk in. It appeared that the person who walked in was some sort of humanoid in a full-body leather uniform.
Uniform.
Clothing, attire. A full-body suit. Full-body leather suit.
Do you like?
Very odd.
We don't want. There's an elephant in the room. There's something very sexual that had happened. Is there a would I have known what the fuck a gimp suit is?
History with history, and you know what? Because of your noble house, disadvantage.
But because
You mean advantage?
Nobles are into that shit.
No.
Just because they
Because
know.
her noble family is Fey. Her
But-
noble family is Fey, so
but-
they don't
but-
really- it's unnatural.
Let me-
Yeah, it's kind
Hey,
of
you would
clashes.
think that you would think that noble families would be used to effing each other over.
Well, here's my rebuttal. Because of my tailoring knowledge and experience, would that counteract the disadvantage?
No, yours is particularly, clothing, fashion, things like that. This is not to do with fashion. This is more along the lines of the fetishistic aspect of.
Auntie, I'm an expert in leatherworkers' tools.
Yes. For but not that sort of thing.
God damn it, Auntie.
It's like armor and like
I'm sorry, but
guards
the
and stuff like that.
underaged elf does not know about the gimp suit.
22. Unfortunately, yeah, you do know. It kind of depends on her opinion of it, but it's something that exists. You know, you never seen one in person, but you know it exists.
She says with a defeated sigh, her arms kind of intertwined, like how do I describe it? Like when you have a stomach ache and you hold your arms like horizontal, like real close to it, like you're upset. Yeah. She very meekly says, we're ignoring an elephant in the realm. What if this was a part of the sexualness? What?
Yeah.
What if this? She almost vomits at the. What if this was
You
a
might
gimp
want-
suit?
regardless, I still think death via sexual activity is likely punishable in some respect, whether that be legally or morally.
Well, here's the thing
Investigator's
about.
like, all right, I'm just gonna. I think I need some fresh air now. Oh
so can
God.
Flint actually determine the cause of death, which
Flint?
finds that killed the person?
Oh yeah, Flint, make a medicine check.
Does he
I
already
make
have-
all medicine checks with advantage unless stated
Yes.
otherwise.
Yes. So yeah, make a
Mm.
medicine check with advantage.
So I wish to enact the closest thing to a forensics and biological team.
Yeah.
On the
I
body.
Well,
unless
touching
they-
the body.
What
One
is the
moment.
literal
One at
cause
a
of death
time.
here?
We're all getting too excited here. Flint, or Lamb Chopper, roll. Mouse Duke, you were saying something.
Unless like he give him a plus 5 to his medicine check, I don't really think there's much I can do, since I am. Am I proficient? I am just proficient with medicine.
Nope. Yeah, he's
Unfortunately,
already.
the help action is useless here, and that's bullshit.
I mean, to be fair, advantage is a help action. Advantage is symbolically a +5 to.
Yeah, but not mathematically. Anyway, so getting on to the subject at hand, Flint. Before you get anywhere near the body, the investigator and it tells you, don't touch the body, don't sort of contaminate the crime scene. Just make sure that if you want to look at the body, go ahead. Just don't touch the body. And he just sort of takes his leave, and just to get some fresh air. And as you sort of look it over, you notice that the bones in the rib cage, specifically the sternum, it has a noticeable break in it. Likely one of the causes of death. As with your, this would be a survival check to see if you know what this would have caused this. So please make a survival check. Yep, because you're able to discern that the break in the sternum is likely the cause of death, but it looks odd. That would as such requires a survival check.
I will give him advantage since I am proficient.
All right, Flint, make it with an advantage. With a 16.
With a 16.
You notice it's not blunt force trauma. Your first thought is like, okay, blunt force trauma probably just literally snapped this sternum, which is difficult to do, but still plausible. And then you look at it closer. Wait, there's no sign of shattering or anything like that. It's like a clean cut. Not a break, not a chop, not a stab, but a cut.
Surgical?
Not surgical. With your medicine, with your survival, not surgical. It's a downward angle down into the sternum.
So stab wound?
Possibly.
It's
not a stab or a chop. It's a cut, or a slice.
I'm committing
when you
stupid.
swing
What
a sword.
else would I roll in order to know what might cause this specific brand of damage?
Is it from a serrated knife or straight edge?
With your survival check, you sort of look around the amount of space that guy would have to work with. There's not a lot, so you think either a cutlass, scimitar, cutlass or scimitar, or maybe
How would a cut to the breastbone cause death?
Well, if it's
deep,
severe bleeding, yeah.
If it's deep enough, if it's deep enough, you can sever the lungs, cut the lungs, and the patient could suffocate.
That's really sharp blade cut to the breastbone.
And it would be difficult to discern that is the cause of death with all this mushroom and fungus, because the fungus would be effectively break the the areas of the organs and cause severe damage to it.
Most likely why the mushroom was even placed on there to begin with, to muddy up what kind of wound is even there.
Actually, it's really brilliant because mushrooms are vicious with their roots. They can break through solid stone to get the nutrients. Bedrock even. Just for the nutrients alone.
And Parias, Actually, one moment. Parias,
Trades for the mushroom
you
guy.
sense some movement on the opposite wall, parallel to the door. Or not parallel to the door, but parallel to the...
Punch it.
You sense movement. Humanoid, about 6 foot, about 4'8". You kind of sense the form. Likely human, maybe something else. There's no like other form, but you do sense that there. Yeah, only you sense there's someone sort of putting their ear against the wall.
Who's
Only
on the other
Parias knows this.
Yeah.
Wanted to break through a wall for so long. We'll have to pay for a wall.
Just-
Do it. You know you want.
Pariah's care.
It's a murder scene.
But what
It
if?
sounds like someone's trying to listen in on everything.
What if? All right. What if they're like a bad person, and we need to break down the wall to get them?
Just walk through the wall and break it.
Where's the where would they be in relation to this? In the hallway?
Nope, it is in the other room, which according to the investigator, is supposed to be abandoned.
It's supposed
The original residents there were moved to another, room.
These walls. Just
With your abilities, about like solid 4 inches of wood and actually, has plaster been invented in this current time era? Wood and plaster and paper. It'd be a bit tough for a normal person to punch through if that's what you're thinking of, but you might have a chance.
for
Is this man trying to listen through 4 inches of wooden plaster?
Yes.
and
How good
they
is
have
it perception?
thing, which means they can probably hear.
I am tempted to suggest that you knock exactly where he is attempting to listen, just to fuck with him.
No.
because
Know
then
that
you don't
they will
do
know that
very
we know
well,
that
does-
And then they will run.
Yep,
So it's
exactly.
your call, Parias. Only you know this. Only you can make this call.
Where am I from that wall?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
I zoned out on what exactly only knows, so...
Listening in, basically.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is stealth check, whisper to the investigator.
Stealth.
The investigator's outside.
The investigator.
He's getting like some fresh air because of the apparently weird sexual shit, and apparently he's not comfortable with that.
If only there was someone here who could speak telepathically. And hear telepathically in return.
Yes.
Talk for
If
me.
only.
If
You know,
only we had.
move over
If only
to-
we had Solithis with his telepathy spell.
I get you. Gonna go over to. Lucid.
What?
I'm just gonna tap Lucid a little bit.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I can respond telepathically, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just someone in
Ready telepathy.
Someone on the other side of that wall. I need you to. I'm going to bust through it. I need you to get in front of that room and notify the lead investigator, whatever the fuck they are, that there is someone there, and that is why I'm going. They are listening in. It should be abandoned. Alright, ready? Go. Charging the wall.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Cool.
Hell yeah. 30.
Alright.
Fuck.
Before I
you
tell you the
know,
result,
can
Lucid?
I stop him before he does this?
is Price gonna wait for Lucid to leave?
No. This has to happen now.
Because like
Okay.
I could hit up the dude with message, or sending.
Yes,
Also,
but this
he's
would
using his
also most
action.
likely
You would have
throw
to
him
know
off
the
as
person.
We recognize him.
Yeah,
You'd have to
he
know the
met.
person.
You said,
I know
he
him.
has met the person. He knows the person.
The person
yeah.
on the other side, or are you talking about the person?
I was gonna just I was just gonna sending the dude, and then he could get people to like come and grab him from.
Too late.
The investigator. Okay. All right.
All right,
So,
cool. We're
as
doing
you
this.
punch, so what are you doing specifically?
I am shoulder charging this wall
All right.
to bust
You
through it.
Everyone suddenly sees
I'm
Pariah's
gonna
just sort of
try
calmly
reaction.
step to one side of the wall towards Lucid, and then just crash through the other side of
Can I
the other.
just reaction? Talk to everyone in the room. Everyone, stay calm. This is a well thought out plan, I assure you.
All right. You do so as he breaks through the door, breaks the wall, and
I'll follow after him. Like,
Alright.
not like right
You-
by him, but like, I
okay.
guess, from a short distance. Within 20
Okay.
feet.
Well, you and Parias, well, let's see here. How do I describe this being or person?
I hope he's not dead, crushed under Pariah's sheer might. Jesus.
I don't think so. If I could,
He has to make a dexterity save. Not against, specifically, the DC is your strength modifier, 8 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
So it's like
You don't
16.
have expertise.
Yeah,
So yeah, 16. Well, that's definitely a success. Alright. Total of 18 on this one. Yeah, as you sort of step through, he the assumingly culprit notices and sort of just throws himself backwards. And as you sort of crash through the wall,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Vera, Vera, Parias, and basically everyone sees a humanoid man about 4'8",
Can I?
in a full black leather suit with crystalline eyes, a zipper over the mouth, what looks like brick feet,
God.
and long, spindly fingers.
Can I?
How many doors
Can
are there?
I?
One at a time. Vera, you're
That's
saying something?
important. How many doors are in the room?
Aside from the door in your room and the newly opened other section of this new room, 2, including the
Can I-
room.
And it's just,
Can I
and it's just the
cast-
one guy in here?
Just the one guy, as
Yeah.
far as you can tell.
Okay, I move up towards him and activate my guard stance.
That works.
Okay.
Can
Alright,
I cast?
and-
Can I? I want to cast Entangle on him.
I'm moving up to grapple him.
Okay.
I have an idea as well. I can use Bestow Curse to shut down spines.
I'd like to
And
use
thus they
my,
cannot
I don't know if
actually
shutting
move
down
anywhere.
his spine is a good idea.
I'd like to set down some rails to force him to use
I would like to be a
make
train.
check. Let me.
Alright. Well, first things first. Price, make your athletics check
Yeah,
to grapple him.
I'm gonna be real
31.
with you.
And I am rolling in private his...
I'm gonna be real with you, mate. I
acrobatic.
don't think he's gonna fail.
I mean,
And before he passes.
no, actually, no, he fails. I was gonna say,
Okay.
I mean, anything's possible in this world. As you do manage to hold him, Vera walks up and activates her ability. Hajime casts Entangle, and I need you to make a strength save?
Yes,
It's been a
against.
while, yeah.
Strength it. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to beat a 19.
19, okay. Nope. That's fine.
You're entangled. And
Yeah, that's whatever. He's also tangled.
and I also need Vera to make a strength save as well, because she's also in the area of effect. Actually, wait, no, because Vera's within 10 feet of you, because you're within 10 feet of Vera, you have a bonus to your strength, to your saving throw. So
I think she has +6 charisma.
I need to double check here.
Sweet. This is the time to be alive.
A +4 to your thing, so that makes your check a 17.
Wow, I still
actually.
fail.
Mm-hmm.
Still fail.
That doesn't fucking fail.
Holy shit.
All right.
I think I passed.
Yeah, you
Nah.
passed. You passed.
Call it a punch.
And
Nah.
actually, so does the culprit.
What?
He still grappled though.
Modded 20, but yeah. And yeah, modded 20. Modded 20.
I could do that.
And he has to make a dex save. Okay. All right, roll.
Sweet Christ, my man is getting
He's good at
fucked.
this.
Oh, you know what? Let's
He's
just throw some more chip into this. I'm gonna put
Ooh.
down the bubble.
Okay, and that's
Oh,
your bonus
God.
action, yeah?
Absolutely fuck this man in
the wrong thing.
particular.
Okay.
Right
Put
now.
her on
Holy
the
shit.
Very particular.
It's like a SWAT team used on an entire guy.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
It's now difficult
And-
terrain.
On one man in a
For
gift
him.
suit, we have set an entire SWAT team.
And yeah, basically.
Wait, I think this
And
is
as this happens, yeah, okay, so he actually resists your Trax ability, Datura.
shit.
Barely.
There's got to be some
Barely.
point where we're overloading his
And-
magical immunities.
No, he's
Magical
not immune to
immune
magic.
system
But
must
he
be under a
is.
shit ton of pressure.
But as he does this, you notice he appears to be wearing some like weird like cloak. Some weird like cloak, and it smells faintly of brimstone as he disappears.
I don't like that.
That fucker. Question: was that a spell?
Yes.
Counterspell.
Do I get?
God fucking damn it.
One moment.
I would like to
Vera?
also commit counterspell
I'd
as
like
well.
to also
Don't
commit
One at a time.
counterspell.
One at a time. One at a time. Vera.
I was gonna say counterspell, but I feel like I got counterspell already, so then fine.
We
Yeah,
all
so-
just counterspell this man in
How'd
particular.
you, so, okay, what level are you casting this spell at? Lucid.
Oh fuck it, 6th.
Okay. And
All
what
of it.
spell are you
This
casting
man
your
does not
counterspell
get
at?
away from
Datura?
here in particular. This is the culprit.
Datura?
This is the man.
Sixth-
We will
fifth?
tap him.
Fifth, yeah.
Okay. Both of you need to make roll your spell casting ability modifier.
So it is. Well, that's just a D20 plus 9 in this case, right?
Yep.
Actually,
Oh,
no,
actually no,
I'll
it's
use-
without your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so just straight stat.
Straight intelligence check.
Cool.
Here's my question. Does Hex
I'd like to reroll.
Okay, one at a time. Vera, you were saying something. Or Flutter, you were saying something.
I'll go second. Go ahead.
Okay.
does
Yes.
Hex only work for me to my benefit?
It allows you to cause disadvantage on a check, or save that they make. So kind of, it could benefit your allies.
I'm gonna if the guy comes back, I'm preparing Hex.
All right.
I'll use-
roll.
Yeah, I'd like
So
to.
I'm
both of
using-
you can use a reroll if you wish.
I'm gonna use mine. Yeah, that's better.
All right.
Fuck.
All right.
Better.
Another
I have a
plot
question.
point I refuse to have fade away
All right.
with the fucking teleport
Vera?
yet again to needlessly prolong it.
I know.
I shall
Vera, you were saying
I
something.
shall brute force it there.
Flutter. One moment. Flutter, you were saying.
Yes. So when I use my Channel Divinity, it allows me to cast Counterspell, and when I do, I may choose to reflect the spell back on its caster as though I may choose to. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So
I
it's
guess
yeah.
I
It
can read
doesn't.
it again.
Yeah, it's only for, it's really good for when a caster casts like a damaging spell on like you or an ally, but when they're doing something on themselves, then it's not really as useful, but still really good. Nevertheless, As you guys sort of storm in, he disappears.
Kind of spell. I'm
With
doing
your-
the kind of spell as well.
Okay, roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence?
What spellcasting ability are you using to cast the spell?
Charisma.
Okay, roll charisma. Not straight.
Come on.
Fuck!
12.
No,
Okay.
Are you
God.
telling me
Anyone
that
else
this
have a
man
counter
cast
spell
a
left?
3
7th
of
level?
you. So, as he is restrained, 3 of you reactively cast counterspells as you sense a spell effect beginning to activate. You all hear a as he disappears.
You telling me
puff
he
of
casted a 7th level spell?
I should have just you know what I should have done? I should
Because I
have
cast a counter spell at 6th level.
I'll say this. Vera, roll an Arcana to see if you are able to identify what the spell is.
You know what?
am
I should have just cast Pistol Whip to knock him out.
Yeah.
That's a reaction.
I mean, if he has the ability to do something
Actually,
spell, I don't think.
I barely did anything, and yet I plan to do things. Can I just fucking clock him?
You could have if you had moved closer and if he were not gone. But
Can I
nevertheless.
Eldritch Blast him instead?
He's already gone.
He's very gone.
I mean,
War Mage
cast-
can allow me to do these things as reactions, or have.
Yeah, but not when he teleports. That teleportation.
I am infuriated,
Reactionary attacks.
livid, and I am immediately going to an Eldritch God to speak of this.
Okay. One moment.
well, not me.
Vera? 1 moment.
is it
Flutter.
just Vera that? Is it just her that can make the?
Anyone who can see it, so anyone can roll an Arcana to see if you are able to identify the spell.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh, shit.
very much. I'm not letting this fucker get away with
I mean-
when I use my goddamn 6th level spell slot. I only have one of those. You listen here, you son of a bitch. You don't make me waste my goddamn spell slot.
Alright.
Absolutely fucking livid. We are having this man either be here or we are knowing where the fuck
This is no
everyone
longer an issue of this
Except
guy
for
killed this
Lucid.
woman. He made me waste the spell slot, so now he's dead.
Everyone except for Lucid has no idea what this person thing cast. However, Lucid,
Lucid has the biggest brain.
you notice the very slight somatic components. I noticed something like strapped to his side, a tuning fork,
He's
Go
dimension.
to a separate plane.
plane shift.
Holy shit. He went to a separate plane?
He is he able to?
Maybe another
ident-
plane? No, not unless he had the metal rod to begin with, but he did not. All you know is that he cast plane shift, so he might either be on this plane or any of the other planes of existence that people can
God
travel.
damn.
This is infuriating and immediately pisses me out of character. Off.
I should
Well,
hope that
it's
you
like-
are
I
capable of
exaggerate
casting
on
7th
this.
level spells, and that is an item that he used.
Yeah. We had every chance to stop this. I want to remind y'all.
Look, the dice gods were just not smiling upon you today, okay?
God damn it. If my
I
intelligence
call
was
spite
one
against the
higher,
dice gods
we would have been
themselves.
good.
And actually, but something does drop off, but there is something left.
Immediately after realizing what he done, I'ma just broadcast telekinesis, not even telekinesis, whatever the fuck you call
Telepathy.
it. Telepathy, that's it. I'm gonna immediately broadcast telepathy to everyone. Here, he casted plane shift. I don't know to where, but he did.
Is there any way we can track it?
Are we able to
Maybe.
tell where?
I
he
roll the
shifted?
funny Arcanas.
No. Alright,
So
Arcana.
did Brian's.
First-
Apparently the
Arcana
DC
check to see what. Everything is leaving an arcane trail at this point. Okay, since we
With
know
your-
that, where is this trail going? What
The thing
fucking
with plane
is
shift-
this trail going?
The thing
You
with plane
go-
shift, yeah, one moment. But the thing with plane shift is that there's no residual energy, like as to where they went. Only like essentially the school of magic that was left over if
Question.
you're casting detect magic. But there is but as I was trying to say, something is on the floor where he once was.
What is it?
So Parias, you sense this first, as you notice this object that has fallen off of this person appears to be some sort of hair.
We got him!
Genetic
A
identity.
single strand of hair. The only reason you're able to immediately identify it is because you're blind. And because I'm assuming you're on edge.
Pick it up.
While this is happening, quick question for you, Auntie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Evidence bag. Put it in an evidence bag.
Alright. The investigator, after getting filled in with what just happened...
It's like
Well
6
done.
seconds.
Yeah. It's like shortly after. But yes. So, Vera, you're saying something?
Put the hair in an evidence bag so we don't lose it.
Yeah, he
Unless
does
it's
that.
stolen or tragically captured.
Fair one.
Vocable? Yeah, he does. A separate one. So, and vocable. As you touch it, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Woo! Is it a
God,
fear?
he's got magic hair.
Is it a frighten effect?
Nope.
Does this cover anything else? No, it does not. Very cool. Okay, here we go.
With
Oh,
a plus, okay. Natural 20. Alright.
That'll work.
You feel anger coming from inside of you. Not from you yourself,
No, don't you do that.
but from
Don't.
But you managed to, almost as quickly as it came, silence it. Or not so much silence it, but suppress it.
Yo, imagine if Parias nat 1's there, and then we would have to fight Parias. We would die.
Nah.
Well,
As
There's a
you
lot of
hear in your mind, plane shifters, I hate them.
Yeah, me too, man.
I wish
Especially
I
of
could
that
that. Wrong voice.
I think that hair is just the
You hear
collective
it.
manifestation of the party.
We're all thinking
Yeah.
it.
of that group, as you sense from him familiarity, as if he knows what this is.
you know of them.
I know of them, but I'm sure your friend, the human, has met a member of that organization before.
And what is this organization?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was the rogue individual an aberration, celestial, fae, fiend, or undead?
Did you use your divine sense to
No,
detect
it's no, I'm attuned to breath, which lets me sense that.
Ah, yes, then... No. He did not appear to be any of those sorts of creatures. He was not an outsider. Right, he was an outsider in the most literal sense, but like the magic sense, no. He's probably of this plane.
Probably. So we're looking
Anyway,
for
Yeah, so he just said, so Parias, you just hear the voice say, "Speak to the human. He's met someone from this faction before."
Is there a name for the faction, or
They like to get around between the planes.
okay? Flint.
Yes?
Are you aware of any factions that may be keen on doing this sort of activity commonly? The plane shifting part.
Let me scour in my head a little bit.
This would be a history check. If you yourself do not remember.
I myself do not remember.
Okay.
Out of character.
Is it possible
Then-
to give him advantage?
Nope. Because he's met this person, a member of this organization before, but none of you have.
Shit!
So.
Now I remember.
No, okay, so you don't have to make a
Shit!
history check if you.
That was what the fucking man teleported with during the fucking invasion.
If I may
Shit.
question, it was
Not that. Oh no, not that group.
Oh.
Different.
This was like before Othris joined, I'd imagine.
Yep. So roll a history check.
I didn't know that a fucking backstory cult did fucking multiverse transportation.
There was one. Roll a history for me, please.
I
Just a
shall
straight
use
history.
enhance ability because
Very well. Roll with advantage then.
I feel like OOC. I want to if I remembered that, then this would just happen and we would flow. So I want to guarantee him
Success,
knowing that
yeah.
as much as possible because
Roll
it's
a
me
history.
forgetting, not him.
Then please roll a history with advantage. All right. 23.
23.
You remember that monkey folk with vampirism?
That's a fucking say.
A Sobek?
You remember the group he worked with?
Little monkey fella.
The
He was
red
assassinated.
by the Red Line authorities.
Nope.
No, he worked for the Red Line, but
Nope,
this was
he
the
worked. No, let me correct you there, because Flint, you remember Sobek used to work before his untimely demise by some assassin. You remember he was a member of this organization of planeswalkers. They effectively acted as a sort of they're weird, sort of travel agency, sort of police of like who can go where. But you know for a fact that they come in all shapes and forms. But the one thing that they all have in common is that they're all somehow, whether because they're aware of different portals or if they know how to plane shift, they can travel the planes almost freely.
Can you give me a concrete name though?
The Monteleone Travel Agency.
I remember this.
Does anybody remember the
Question.
Monteleone traveling?
Can we roll to see if we know?
History. Everyone else with disadvantage except for Lucid. Except for Lucid only.
Damn, that's a 5 on the die. What a shame.
Oh,
Hell yeah, I know everything.
Alright. So
Big brain.
So Datura, Lucid, Hajime, and Parias, as well as Vera. Actually, no. Wait. Yeah. So, yeah. All of you have never heard of this organization whatsoever. Sounds like some sort of
Really?
traveling
18?
agency. Yeah, with an 18. They're that obscure. It kind of sounds like one of those travel agencies, that sort of, they sort of sell, they sort of like sell, or not sell, but they rent houses in other countries. Usually like highly populated or very famous cities or villages, no, not villages, but cities. That sort, rent them out to like rich families or things like that. But yeah, Flint, with your history, you were briefed on them.
Actually,
Not only do they
can I-
work there are two groups of the Monte Leon travel agency. There's there's the official ones, and then there's the blacklisted one. There's the Black Ops one members. No, oh, sorry, you're saying?
I was trying to say that what I was trying to do was asking if I could use my historian feat to give a +4.
Then yes. In that case, then then this travel agent, this quote unquote travel agency. Well, they also work as a normal travel agency, but for the right price. Some of them do allow you to travel to other realm or other planes for a price, of course, and with some stipulations.
I mean, would I have known of them since I am technically of a different realm?
No. You've traveled primarily through the own volition of your Fey parents, or for your Fey parents, your Fey family.
My Fey mother.
Yeah, your Fey mother's. She is the one who did who managed all the traveling. She didn't rely on any like travel agency or anything like that.
Official portals.
Yeah, officially used portals of your noble house.
By the books.
Yep. This is essentially, so basically there are two factions. There's there's the group, the main agency that works, in bringing people to other places all over the world or to other planes, but of course they have some restrictions and the such. They have rules that you need to follow. Don't do this, don't do that, don't stay here for too long. We'll pull you out. And then there's the sort of Black Ops, I guess the only, or I guess technically the not really well known parts of it. There are some let's see here, the Avrani Union and the Chicago Royal Empire currently are watching over them over accusations of espionage, let's see here, poaching, and assassination. Aside from the traveling gimmick thing,
sexual assassination.
aside from the whole traveling thing, they also have essentially they work as sort of almost militaristic, off the books assassin group, which is perfect for an organization of planeswalkers.
So this is kind of with my original idea, where this was meant to send a message.
You don't know, but Parias, do you present the hair? Oh, sorry, no, you already presented the hair, so
yeah.
Okay. And with that little moment, we'll end the session there, as now you have several clues.
Can you post the clues in chat so we can peruse them in case we forget some of them?
Sorry?
The clues we've collected.
Alright. I'll put them into a... I'll put them into a handout that you guys can edit. Just in notes. In the notes section that you guys should have access to. Let's see here.
It's really nice that since my own mother is really interested in true crime, She's very good at this stuff. And that kind of passes it down to me a small bit. I'd love to see what I'd love to see what she has to.
Really,
oh, sorry.
I think most moms are interested in either true crime or mystery stories.
I'd love to see what she has to say about this case.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie, are you dead?
I'm listening.
It was the previous question that I never got around to. Right. So, in order to use plane shift, you of course require a fork attuned to the plane you are attempting to go to. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
One
This
at a time.
guy. I believe
One at a time,
this.
please.
You can
One
go.
moment, Master Duke.
I'm reading something.
Okay.
Duke, you can go. I'm reading something.
So, I remember this very vaguely. This organization is an actual, archetype you can choose from, where
Not
you
archetype, but background. You don't need the tuning fork to plane shift. It comes, and it's Actually,
kinda-
no, you do need it if you're casting plane shift. You just know of certain locations where you can travel. You also know passwords and everything, basically.
It's the part of the plane shift spell where you can teleport to a teleportation circle in a different dimension if you know where it is.
I'm just going to post it here in Thursday group because this is the
Very
background.
specifically, if you know its sigil sequence, which is much more in depth.
Yeah.
And it has to be specific location that essentially this doorway is. So let's just put that there. It's made by Mage Press. It's not obviously, but yeah, it's nice. I liked it. I've always liked it.
So,
anyways,
reading through the description of plane shift, unfortunately, it does not specify really anything about the rod required for plane shift. The only inkling I had for any potential track other than this organization itself, which we can maybe work with, but that seems like something beyond a small group and a boat's guard, essentially. That seems like a more national scale thing.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Upon the mention of plane shift, him casting plane shift, the investigator mentions that the ship is warded against leaving the ship in any way, shape, or form.
So he's still here.
So the culprit is still here.
So
just somewhere else.
Here's my quest. Here's my line of thinking. This guy is going to be tainted. Unless he can get a full magic scrub, he's going to be tainted head to toe in this magic dust almost.
Yeah. And you can edit it. I just put the ones I remember.
He will make our magical Geiger counters go off.
Okay. So, how did he plane shift to the same plane of existence he's already on?
You can actually do that, yeah.
When it specifies a different plane of existence.
There will be a random location on the ship.
The ship's a different plane of existence? Every room?
Yo.
No, it's in the same plane. Essentially, think of it like this. Basically, you put a fly in a jar, and it tries to fly out. But there's a lid. They can't fly out as long as the lid is there. The lid being the boat, obviously, and all the words on it.
That's an odd way to ward it. Not word, but... Okay.
The problem with it is that in this specific scenario, the fly isn't attempting to leave. The fly is merely changing location, which is not technically feasible within the confines of plane shift. Unless through some contrived means he made a melee spell attack against himself, willingly failed, and was randomly transported to somewhere on the ship.
Yep.
Which is theoretically possible, I guess.
Plane shifting is whack, okay?
But that
Let's
feels
leave
like
it.
an action requirement, which I don't know if he could have done that.
He could have.
I guess you could. Yeah. Okay.
You grappled him. You held him in play. You basically, bear hugged him is what I understood it
Wait,
as.
He was
Wait,
not
so the-
restrained, right? He resisted that effect.
One moment.
so the guy who
Flutter?
was grappling him wasn't plane shifted either? What?
Nope. It
No,
has to be
plane
a
shift
willing
says that
target.
you have to choose willing creatures to go with you with
Yeah.
plane shift.
And he didn't choose anyone, so
Obviously.
aside from himself, so
Wouldn't the grappling creature count as luggage at that point?
No.
Or carried item?
no.
No.
Not according to I actually checked this out before I wrote this up, and no. According to sage advice, they count as a completely separate entity. They don't count as inventory or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even animated art.
Yeah. They're still a creature. When you pick someone up, they don't suddenly become an inanimate object.
Unless they
Unless
do.
they're dead.
I
Unless
do
they're
have
dead.
a
well, yeah.
thing that I in particular need to ask about, though.
Yes?
I'm going to copy and paste the funny speaking with that spell.
Also, and you guys should have access to murder case notes, and that you guys can and all of you can edit. So,
Murder.
Way above.
under notes. Yeah, way in the bottom under notes.
With its normal ruling, I do not get why it did not work, because you are merely
Thank you.
animating
Thank you,
the
Volkl.
dead, not slapping the soul in the body. It explicitly says stuff like this because the soul is required for it to really comprehend anything new happening the fuck around it, other than the questions.
Well, I mean, were you here for when?
Animate dead.
Oh no.
There's-
Flutter, you were saying something?
I was talking to Google.
Oh, okay. Sorry, continue, Master.
There's no soul in the body. Yeah.
Yes, but this does not require a soul to work.
It does.
It does.
You're
Wait,
specifically
is this
The
using
spell
the
doesn't
soul
return
in the body.
creature's soul to its body, only animating its spirit. The
Yeah,
spirit is
it doesn't have a
required, not the
spirit.
soul.
There's no spirit left inside. There's no spirit inside
Spirit is
because
tied
there's
to
no
the soul.
soul. Yeah.
Wait, is this animate dead or keep this?
Speak with dead.
Does
You
anyone
can
know
use
anything?
animate dead on the body all you want. There's no problem with it.
Yay, we've
I think we
we're
should.
puppeteering a lifeless corpse that cannot give us information.
Thus making it... Oi. Well, the best idea that I really have to continue the investigation is immediately interrogating the entirety of the trap planes at sea.
I mean, unfortunately, due to the nature of it, counterspell is a reaction, and therefore a reaction was likely the only amount of time we had to prepare. If we had a full-on action and/or bonus action, then we most definitely could have stopped him, I feel.
I mean, I casted Entangle as an act. That's an action.
Well, yes, but
Yes.
that was initially.
And it was the end of your guys' turn. It was its turn.
Because in a situation where it was like, okay, everyone has an action, like, I wouldn't have used the 6th level spell slot on Counterspell. I would have used the 6th level spell slot on Curse of Boreas and said he's not going anywhere.
Yes, well, in the meantime, this is all, now you know. Now you've thought of a strategy. If you encounter him again.
Well,
Which
he's
you're going
still
to
on the
have.
ship,
Anyway,
so
I've
just
not
burn down the
seen
ship.
anything that disproves my method of continuing it as seeing as the travel agency is the best amount of info that we really got
Yeah.
linking to
It doesn't
an
exist,
active
doesn't it?
suspect.
It doesn't exist in the overrunning union. or the Chicago World Empire because of their more cultural
Contact
aspects
with an
towards
elder
certain
god can do a
outsiders.
lot of things if you're willing to be very
Yeah.
persuasive.
Yeah, but nevertheless, so yeah, what do you guys think of this little event, this session?
It was fun.
Why do you
I'm
hate us?
royally
A
pissed
part
that
of
he
me
casted a
is
7th
mainly
level spell.
spiteful of another dude leaving by teleportation again that is plot important, as I immediately try stopping them from doing that.
3
You guys
counter
could
spells.
have. You guys
Three.
could have. It's just the dice gods were
Three.
against it.
Different counter spells, one of which was re-rolled. And it was off. It was 1. I was off by 1. If I rolled 1 higher, he wouldn't have gone anyway.
Well, look,
How
there's
do
a
you think?
storytelling opportunity.
How do you think I feel?
The
That
good
was
guys
exact.
The good guys don't always win. That's how
So
stories
the hair
work.
was
If the good guys
sentient and
always
speaking
won,
in rage, right?
Well, that's
I
the point.
think-
The point is that we got baited so fucking hard.
if the heroes won all the time, it would be a boring story.
And before I forget, yeah, I think I missed a detail. Yeah, Pariah, so Vocable, you only the moment you only suddenly realized he was there, which means he wasn't there before.
Oh god, he teleported in.
That means he teleported in there, possibly.
Murderers, Jet.
Hey,
There's someone on
Hey,
the outside.
who the fuck removed the
return to the
she-dead
scene of the
roll
crime.
notes from the murder case notes? Who
I
the
need
fuck
to
removed
mentally
the
zoom
she-dead?
out from the situation. So, the situation as we know it is somebody got murdered by a guy in a good suit with a
Right.
cutlass
One sec,
who arrived
Alex?
who teleported in, who
Yes,
was
hold on,
a part of a fucking mythical
Alex, are you
planes
there?
teleporting travel agency
Alex, are you there?
that we bursted in, counterspelled
Alex?
like 3 times on just to prevent from leaving,
don't
entangling
think
them,
he's there.
and whatever.
Yeah, Alex, are you there?
I don't think
Someone
he's there.
ping him, please, so that way he can stop the recording. Because you know, I want to make sure that you know
This
you
is
guys have
very
some
important.
privacy.
Who removed the she-dead roll from... Who did it?
That was very important to know who did
It
it.
was very important. How else
It's
am I
fine.
supposed to know she's
What note?
the she-dead roll note? That I added in that I'm pretty sure that was Vocal that did that, and then I added an addendum of very pog. And now it's
I
gone.
didn't.
And you know,
I didn't see it.
upset.
Oh, she's dead.
I guess that's another mystery you're gonna have to solve.
God
We
damn
know-
it was you.
We know it's you,
I wish.
Auntie.
I wish I wasn't. I don't really have it open at the moment. I'm currently just looking over my notes right now to see. Oh yes.
Omega
Oh,
Wall.
he has the stats. He has stats. Yeah.
Well, of course
You're
you-
added. I'm guessing you want me to stop recording?
Yep. Yeah. Please stop recording.